There we go. Hey there, everyone. Welcome to the next edition of the Marvel Underground. Before we go to the Underground, I do want to introduce my awesome co-host who hasn't been here for the last 3 weeks due to some family issues.
Oh, no,
Chris Young.
I wouldn't say that, but thank you for having me, bro. I'm excited to be on the show. And I just want to say before we get started that this previous Sunday you celebrated your birthday. So happy birthday.
Well, yes, last week. Yes, it was awesome.
Wow.
Obviously, I mentioned in my last video. So guys, let's go underground and let's get into our first topic here with the episode 5 of WandaVision.
Hey,
Chris, take it away.
So there was a lot to cover with this episode. To me, what we learned in episode 5 compared to like all 4 was just like a blockbuster of an episode. It ranged from like 30, 32 minutes after, all the credits.
Yeah.
As they do like 6 minutes of credits. But, really starting it off, this was the first episode where we saw Westview, aka WandaVisions, where she has all these people in it, she's controlling them, and then you also get to see the regular world of the FBI and SWORD are working together, so they're both in one episode, where the previous 4, it was either in Wanda's vision or outside, kind of looking in. So we really got to see that, which was cool. We got to see the return of Darcy, which is one of my favorite characters. And
she's pretty fun.
Before we get to the big blockbuster moment that everyone is raging about on social media.
Yeah, it's going nuts.
Something that really stood out is how Vision's now kind of waking up from, this trance Wanda has put on him. And when he was in the office at work, he touched that coworker's head, and it really gives you the perspective.
Kind of woke him up a little bit too.
Yeah, brought him back to reality for a moment,
and then brought him back. And brought him back in it.
And the biggest thing from it was you got to see, these people are literally being held hostage mentally by Wanda. So it really puts a kind of a negative vibe on her, which we haven't really seen before. So I thought that was interesting. And Vision's, the other thing is, since she brought him back from the dead in this episode, we really learned how she went into SWORD, took his body, woke him up, and Vision doesn't know who he is. So he's stuck and now finally waking up from it all, but he doesn't know his past. So
I think that was kind of weird. Like, I thought it was kind of weird when Wanda saved the body of Vision, because how would you know that SWORD's around? Like, how does she know?
Yeah, because she came back from the blip, like the one of the co-stars in the first episode did.
Yeah. Was there SWORD around that we didn't know about, and that we're discovering it now?
Yeah.
But if you think about it too, it could be in the same timeline as Spider-Man Far From Home too. So we don't know we don't know how.
Yeah.
Or how she knew that.
Did she just come out of the blip raging like hell, if I may say that on the show?
Well, I think it was kind of cool that they kind of did mention Thanos too in this and they did mention Thanos in this episode directly. And then too is that they there was some tension between Captain Marvel and Monica Rambeau when Captain Marvel's name was
dropped in.
Yeah. So there might be some kind of history going on between the two. Maybe in the second one.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah, they're kind of hinting towards that. And then, bro, as you know, the big moment.
Oh, here we go. The drum roll. Okay, let's go.
So before we get to that, I just want to say in 2019. Disney, aka the Marvel's parent company, bought Fox Century for a record $71.3 billion. And this was the first time in the Marvel universe we got to see a taste of what could come out of that, because you got the Fantastic Four, you got all the X-Men now. So we finally get to see not Pietro, not the Quicksilver we saw in Avengers, because they killed him off because there was one coming up in Fox Centuries, but we get to see the Quicksilver from Fox Century's version of X-Men, which was
No way!
Brew, to me, it was bigger than when Luke Skywalker showed up at the end of The Mandalorian in season 2.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't want
Yes.
to create a lot of critics, but
Yeah, I personally, I think this was a big plot twist in the show so far. That it's good that we are experiencing the X-Men actually in the MCU form.
yes.
But if you think about it too, it's not the right reality.
No.
So
What does that lead up to, Brew?
So that kind of leads up to a Doctor Strange movie, multiverse, but there are some also rumors that Tobey Maguire may show up in this movie, or not in the movie, but in the show, to set things up, because
even more.
Yes, even more. Because that's how we're gonna get this Spider-Man 3 movie, which we will talk about that later in the show.
Right.
But
finishing off WandaVision, this was the first time we got to see multiverse in anything Marvel.
Yes.
In the whole, time that Disney's kind of had Marvel, and even before that with the Iron Mans and everything, this was the first time we got to saw it. And I know some people are like, I didn't really like that Quicksilver from Fox Century, but to me, he was one of my favorite characters in the Fox Century X-Men series. So
and it's cool that the MCU is now bringing in their new property characters too.
And it's nice that they didn't just kill off all these characters.
Oh,
it's
no.
like, could we see
Absolutely.
Ian McKellen come back as Magneto, or Patrick Stewart as
or we can see a Mephisto
yes,
into one of the forms of the X-Men.
Yeah. So very exciting episode. We got 4 episodes left in WandaVision. So it's going to be a hell of a ending of a season.
Yes. So turning the tables here with our next Marvel show, I guess we can say, is the Winter Soldier and the Falcon. Now, we're kind of building up to the show, building it up because we're a few weeks away from it, because it's gonna go right after WandaVision. Wow. So
I didn't even know that, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I thought we talked about that earlier, but yeah, I know it's gonna be right like a week or two, or I think a week after the season finale of WandaVision. So who knows? But we did get confirmation that Don Cheadle will be reprising his role in it, in the show as War Machine. So, and obviously everyone knows that he will be also back in Armor Wars too. So that could also be a stepping stone of setting up his own series. Mm-hmm. So if you think about it too, a lot of people don't know what Armor Wars are. Do you know what Armor War is, Chris?
Actually, bro, I was relying on you for this one to talk about.
Well, okay, so it's basically where I guess it's one of the bigger moments, I guess, because obviously Tony dies, guys. Spoiler alert: Tony dies.
Sadly,
sadly,
can't limp that back.
You can't. No. But then apparently, I guess someone steals his armor and thinks that Iron Man's still alive. So, but really, some people know that he's dead, so they got to try to figure out how to find or get his armor back. I don't know. It's gonna be chaos. But yeah, so I think that's gonna be one interesting episode or one interesting series. But there's more details on that. I don't know what the game plan is on that one, but
so, bro, you're saying WandaVision has 4 more episodes, right?
Yes.
There's going to be a 1 to 2 week pause, right? So everyone can get their brains back together. Because if the ending of WandaVision is anything like episode 5 this past week, we're going to need a week or 2 to recover from it.
Oh yeah.
So a couple weeks after. So wow.
Yeah. No, our minds are going to be blown. My mind was blown after last night. Yeah. I'm telling you, I literally, I'll tell you, kid you not, literally when I saw the Quicksilver from the X-Men universe, I was jumping up, running around my house, and my house isn't that big, people. I literally ran around, and then I was like, "What is going on?" Because my mind was straight up blown.
Well done.
And yeah. So.
And it's going to be great that we get to see Don Cheadle return as War Machine.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
Great character in the Marvel.
You know what?
universe.
I think Marvel did a good job replacing the original one back in the first one.
He wanted too much money.
Okay, yes, money, but I think they did perfectly hiring Don Cheadle,
Oh yeah,
aka Captain Planet.
Captain. There's a funny skit on YouTube. Search it.
Yeah, it is pretty fun.
If you haven't.
So then now we're gonna be talking about some interesting news about Thor: Love and Thunder that just broke out this week, I guess. Whereas we got Karen Gillan's character, Nebula, and Sean Gunn's character, Craggle, was spotted on set in Australia. How cool is that? I would say this Love and Thunder movie is just going crazy. I mean, they got pictures. They already took set pictures already, and you see Thor in a biker outfit.
Wow.
Now,
with the name of the title, we're going to see some interesting stuff we may have not seen from Thor, like we did in Thor Ragnarok, with the haircut and
absolutely.
the different
Then
characters.
you got the Guardians coming into it. Yeah. So what are we gonna? I mean, that's gonna be one interesting question in 2022. Excuse me. To figure out what this movie is going to be.
Right. So, Brew, moving on to the next one, really hitting on how we just talked about, how the MCU brought in multiverse for the first time in WandaVision this past week. The question's been speculated online as well this weekend. Will we ever see a Star Wars and MCU kind of a crossover or something like that?
Oh God,
and Kevin Freak, or the president of
Feige,
Marvel, yes,
Feige,
president of Marvel Studios and the primary creative creator or creativity creator, came out and said in an interview with Yahoo Finance on Thursday that it's unlikely. There's just so much going on in the MCU, and he doesn't feel that there's really a need or a presence for it.
Well, I mean, if you think about it too, as well, like, yes, it'd be really cool to actually see the Star Wars universe and the MCU collide in one, But there has been a mention, though, of the Star Wars universe in one of the episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh.
So it's basically when what I can't remember what the stone is that they use, but whatever the stone is called wipes Coulson onto some unknown planet, and then he turns around and says, "Oh, that's Tatooine."
Yeah.
Like, how do you know that? Like, he's like, "Oh, I'm a Star Wars guy, and that's Tatooine right there," and I don't know. I think it's pretty funny.
And Kevin went on to say that the closest thing, similar to what you just said, we could ever see of Star Wars being in the MCU is there's an episode of Parks and Recreation from like 7 years ago where the actor Patton Oswalt is like filibustering the council, and he's going on about a Millennium Falcon flying out like in one of the planets around the MCU universe. So it's like that's as close as, if they ever do anything, that it could get to a crossover.
Yeah.
But he did go on to the point saying 20 years ago he never imagined what the MCU universe would be today. So who knows? Yeah,
I mean, honestly, this whole MCU is just phenomenal right now. I mean, you're bringing in characters from the X-Men series. You're bringing characters from the Fantastic Four series.
Hopefully, rightfully done this time.
Yeah, no, I agree to that. But I mean, the first with Jessica Alba, that was done right.
That was a good one. So Brew, you had a Spider-Man update for us because.
Oh yeah, we do have a Spider-Man update for you guys. So here you go, Spider-Man update. Let's go with whatever his guy's name from what's its face. Oh, where is it? God, what is this guy? Is it Delforth?
Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe. Yes, sorry. Thank you for that. Willem Dafoe has been spotted on the set of Spider-Man 3. And if you think about top of that, he's reprising his role as the Green Goblin. So if you think about it, we have Jamie Foxx, that's back as Electro. So you got two main villains. So we got the Electro and Green Goblin. Got the Falcon. Is it the Falcon? Oh no, Vulture. Excuse me, the Vulture. That's 3. And what other ones? We have the Lizard. Okay. So it leaves us for 2 more characters of the Sinister Six.
Or do you think we'll see the return of my favorite, and I mean sarcastically, my favorite Spider-Man villain, Sandman?
You know what? I hope so.
Oh,
I really hope so. I mean, yet again, he was the most underrated character. Oh wait, I think Venom might be in it too as well. I think think about it.
Now that's where we're talking.
Yeah. So, according to Tom Holland too for Spider-Man 3, he said it's the most ambitious ever.
Yeah.
So, reading a quote from him, it says, "I can say that the next Spider-Man film is the most ambitious standalone superhero movie ever made. If you sit down, read the script, and see what they're trying to do, and they're succeeding. It's really impressive. I am just as excited as everyone else to see it let alone be a part of it." So this is a guy that likes to spoil stuff.
Well, yeah.
Coming from a guy that spoils everything. So,
and I think they've kind of really used that to their marketing value too.
Well, yeah. I mean, the one thing is though too is that like he did. I don't know. Like when the rumors were with Tom Holland or with the original 2 coming back, let's say Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. Heck, I mean, actually, they probably are coming back.
Yeah.
No one doesn't want to tell us.
Yeah.
Like, this movie is probably going to be the most anticipated movie in 2021 right now because all this news is coming out. And
Bro, on a serious note too, I really hope we get to see the Kirsten Dunst return as Mary Jane because she was my favorite one.
You know what? I think all the original cast is coming back
from the Tobey Maguire.
The Maguire movie, I believe, and same with the Andrew Garfield ones too. But
so could we see 2 Green Goblins then? The Willem Dafoe one, and then
I don't know,
Dane DeHaan, because that's who played it in the Andrew Garfield one.
You know what? I do like to see them both on the big screen.
But one was Green Goblin still to this day.
Yeah,
one of my favorite villains of all time. He's an underrated actor in his Green Goblin role for the time period.
I think
this was before Iron Man and all the big development of how.
No, I agree. Absolutely. I mean, I think after this, I don't even think he was in any other movies besides the
Out of the Furnace with Christian Bale. I highly recommend it.
Yeah. But yeah, so those are some updates that are coming from the Spider-Man. I know there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out. So the movie that we haven't really talked about, or the movie that we haven't really discussed about, is the Internals.
So, Brew, this week,
please elaborate on what the status is on this Internal movie.
Bro, they've kept this one pretty quiet so far. It does come out November 5th of this year, and they had to move it, of course, because of COVID and everything, like the whole industry is experiencing right now. And the actress Salma Hayek came out this week, and she said, as you were building with what you just said from the Spider-Man actor Tom Holland, saying the script is something he's never seen, she also came out and said this movie is its own DNA. They shoot on real sites, like real places, similar to movies. You don't really get to see that luxury anymore. So
Yeah, no, absolutely.
green screens and LED
Oh, yeah,
screens.
it's all-
So
it's all
they
green,
shot
yeah.
on site for a lot of it. And what's curious, she said this movie is its own DNA of the MCU universe. And maybe she's implying that some of the other ones, she doesn't want them to think it's another just good guy, bad guy kind of thing. And what's unique in this movie specifically is for the first time ever in a Marvel movie, we have a female director. Salma Hayek, who's playing Ajak, is the lead role in it. And in the comics, Ajak was a male, and so they crossed it over and made it a female. And
But they normally do.
movie-
I think they normally do sometimes.
Yeah, mind you, on the side note, I am excited if we ever get a She-Hulk movie.
You know what? They're actually going out with a She-Hulk TV show.
Oh, I am excited.
They're doing a TV show.
But the last thing she was really talking about it is, expect something completely different. And if you think back to Guardians of the Galaxy, that was completely unorthodox way of shooting it, and
But
phenomenal.
yes,
Phenomenal.
but they did mention the internals though too during that scene.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen those
Yeah.
ones, but
Well,
internals, they're promising its own DNA. It's going to be its own thing. And if you don't know what it is, I highly recommend looking it up because there's alien species that were dropped on Earth thousands of years ago, and their whole goal is to protect the human race, and they've been doing it before the dawn of time.
and they created the stones too. So remember, the stones are also.
Say that again, Brew, in case anyone missed that.
So if you missed, or anyone missed that, they are the big factor in the Infinity Stones. They've created these stones.
Right.
So remember that, guys. Remember that they are part of Thanos' takeover and blimping of people. So they're the ones to blame here, not everybody else.
Right. And then, Brew, the last thing we really have to cover is Super Bowl ads, and will we see anything from Marvel?
The big game. The big game's tomorrow, Chris. So,
Yes.
so I really hope it's going to be a good game. I got the Chief A's, the
Yeah.
Chief Kingdom winning this game. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Buccaneers.
Don't get me wrong. I love Tom Brady, but
He's GOAT.
I think. I mean, it'd be nice to see him to win 7 and then go out, but not on this stage. I think Mahomes may do it. But anyway, so speaking of Super Bowl ads, the question is, will we see any ads there, Chris?
The Marvel one. So you have companies like Pepsi, HBO Max, Netflix, and a lot of your big ones that you would typically see for Super Bowl. Brew.
Yeah.
They're not a part of it this year just because
I
of
know.
economic constraints,
Yeah.
COVID, and the other big portion people tend to forget is the film production industry's practically been shut down and has finally been able to get up in the last couple months.
Yeah.
So big production is finally getting its gears slowly moving, or has been slowly moving. So they don't really have big spectacles like we've seen before. But from the bringing it in from a Marvel standpoint, we will see a trailer for the Falcon and Winter Soldier that comes out March 5th.
Oh, so we're just getting that one trailer. So because I did see something today that came out saying that Marvel is actually doing one ad this time. So it might. So it's going to be that trailer.
And it's not confirmed. It was just, I can say that because it's off a subreddit on Reddit. So, Disney does have 4 spots this year. One of them is going to be like a Disney bundle. We may see a few clips of Marvel in there.
Yeah.
But for Marvel specifically, it's only going to be the TV show that comes out March 5th.
And that, I get, yes, I know we're going to be getting one. I mean, it's normally Marvel will have a boatload of trailers going on, or Disney will have their own trailers, but I think one's enough for Marvel right now because they don't really have much things to show. Now, if they show Black Widow again, I am going to figure out who did that because we were so hyped up last year. It was an epic fail.
Bro, actually on Black Widow, could you address the audience? Is it going to go to Disney Plus, or is it actually going to hit theaters for this one? Because, as you know, with some other movies on Disney, like Soul and Mulan, you paid $20 for like the first month. Then if you have a subscription, you could have bought it, or like it's part of it.
Let me tell you something about this Disney Plus thing. I love Disney Plus, Chris. I love Disney Plus.
Me too.
I enjoy it. So, okay, you released Mulan, right? You released Mulan on Disney Plus. Why do you want to make people pay for it? $10 to watch it. Why would
20 actually?
Okay, $20. Why would you?
I'm just saying that.
So here's the thing. We're like, don't get me wrong, Disney. You guys are fantastic. I'm nothing against you all, but I understand that your studio wants to gain money, and I get that. But we are literally people who are buying this, are subscribing for this. Whoever, like, I'm buying for a year, so I'm paying $7 a month. Okay, and you're going to people who are paying $100 or $200 for 3 years, or you're doing that Disney bundle for $300 a year. Don't let us pay for a movie that we're already paying for your streaming service. Now, Soul just went on this went up without going to pay for, which is fine. I never seen. Did you see that movie, Chris?
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I have not.
I've only heard great things.
Yes, same here. So back to Black Widow. I really hope that it makes it into theaters, or they just do the HBO Max route and just drop it for a couple days, or for depending on how long, and then just wipe it out and then bring it back in for whenever necessary to bring it back.
So with HBO Max, you pay $15 a month, right?
Yes.
I'm perfectly okay. There's tons of shows.
Absolutely.
The DC universe, and as you were alluding to that, they have the movies drop, like Little Things dropped last week.
Oh yeah,
and you got Godzilla,
yeah.
King Kong.
Oh yeah, then you got Tom and Jerry dropping out next month.
Would you be willing to pay $15 a month to have Black Widow, and other big blockbusters, similar how HBO Max is doing? Would you be willing to spend the little extra, like $15 a month, versus paying the damn $20 to watch it first time?
I mean,
and having a subscription on top of it.
I mean, if it's paying, then it's worth the buy, because everyone's because this movie's been anticipating since the end of 2019, and then it's supposed to come out of last
spring.
So it's been anticipating this movie for the last year and a half. Maybe actually no, it's almost been a year since the movie's supposed to be out. But I mean, if they pay it, yes, people will buy it. I will rent it out. Whoop-de-whoop. Okay, on top of my $7 a month, but yet again, they're moving it up, which is okay with that.
With the amount of content we've been getting, do 15, call it a day.
Absolutely.
And if you want to do new releases because COVID or whatever disease comes out of the woodwork next, just charge us 15 a month, drop it on Friday, and let us enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Brew, I think that covers it. You want to close it out?
Well, Chris, here's the thing.
Oh.
If you are not in the underground, then why are you here? Why are you here?